Hey yo, shout out to the bro Dylon and the Top 5 show you heard for spinning the bro King Taco the other night on Fubu Radio. They got a big hip hop radio station over there. You heard, and the bro Dylon be making mega moves. You heard? Make sure y'all check that Top 5 show every Sunday night on iHeartRadio from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. If you want to hear that real Brooklyn action, tune in. Hey yo, make sure you go to thebloodsaga.com and cop that hottest book in the streets, you heard?
Yo, LAZ, man, you heard? I'm in the Lower East Side right now, about to walk over this Brooklyn Bridge. About to walk over this Williamsburg Bridge. You heard? I might walk over all the major bridges for this story. In our last installment of Kids with Guns, I dropped two major episodes so far. If you ain't see them joints yet, make sure you type in St. Laz Kids with Guns and make sure you check those, you heard? So in the last installment of this Kids with Guns story, I told you about, me being in 275 junior high school with my bro that was selling crack at 12 years old. But aside from what was going on in just my life, this was like 1988, and the other most popular junior high school in Brownsville, 263 Marcus and 275 had straight beef. Now remember, these is 12, 13-year-old kids type status. And when I say it was beef, I mean it was beef. Marcus used to suit up and come to 275 looking for that drama. You heard? And a lot of times, that shit ended up into gunfire. You feel what I'm saying? Because it was a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds going to the school, but dudes was bringing up their older brothers, their older cousins who was 14, 15, 16. So it was already hammers in play. Like, dudes already had hammers, and it was points in time. It was many a times where they announced over the loudspeaker, like, class will be dismissed early today because of gunshots fired in 275 Park. Right behind 275, it was a park. And then basketball courts and stuff. Now it's a parking lot and all of that for the teachers. But at this time, it was the park and the courts and stuff like that. And it was a regular hood park that was inhabited by, either dudes from Co-op or dudes from the plaza. So it was plenty of times where Marcus came up looking for that smoke, and shots was fired while we was in school. When we was in science class and shit, gunshots was going off outside, and we would run to the window looking to see what the hell was taking place. It'd be scraps, gunfights, whatever. It was heavily jumping off between Marcus and 275 in that beef, and it was getting hectic. You heard? I explain these things because I gotta break down, the circumstances that led dudes growing up where I was growing up and hood similar into believing that they needed a gun. That 60 bus that I had to take from Howard all the way to Rockaway and Hegeman every day, that shit was hectic, bro. You feel me? It was either beef with Marcus on that bus, or the bus was just wilding itself. Dudes was getting robbed, beat up, jumped, all type of crazy shit. Guns was being pulled, all type of crazy shit on that 60 bus. And I got a couple of stories about that 60 bus. But yeah, it was realer than real in 275 with that 275 and Marcus beef. So as a student in 275, you had to worry about these things. You had to worry about being, ran down on by a bunch of dudes from Marcus that just want to take out their anger on some dudes that was going to 275. You heard? We little ass kids, and already we beefing with each other, shooting at each other, and all type of shit. Me, at this age, I told y'all in the last episode, what my mind was obsessed with. But I wasn't in the streets running around with no hammers just yet. You feel what I'm saying? So boom, like my first week on that 60 bus, going from Howard to 275, like I had on a crazy ski cap. I don't remember what kind, but you know, I'm getting in the bus. I'm in the crowded ass bus. There's mad people around me. Somebody snatched my hat off my head. Boom, you heard? I turn around, everybody looking the other way, acting like they don't know what the fuck was going on. You heard? I was tight. Niggas got me for my hat. That was the first victimization of the 60 bus. I'm like, damn, niggas got me for my hat. I felt like shit. And remember, this is a completely different side of Brownsville that I'm from. You feel me? Once you cross Livonia Avenue, that is a whole other side of Brownsville. You feel me? I wasn't familiar with this area at all, and I was type nervous being on this side of Brownsville. You know, like I said, I'm 12 years old. So boom, once niggas snatched my hat, I already knew what type of environment this school was. Ain't nobody never take none of my other garments or nothing like that. But I knew that robberies and shit like that could happen out here. And in the school, it was a bunch of niggas known for robbing. So if you had a full fare train pass or bus pass, dudes would try to rob you for that shit. If you had any type of low goose on, guess, anything fresh or fly, you just might get robbed at gunpoint or robbed by a bunch of motherfuckers threatening to jump you for that shit, even at 12 years old in Brownsville. Like, I remember one time, this was back when the New Balance boots was fire. Like, a lot of dudes don't remember them two-tone New Balance boots. They was brown and green, red and black, fire shits. They still make them joints. Look them up. I got to get me a new pair of those, you heard? But the New Balance boots was fire back in the late 80s. You heard? And, you know, niggas garment, this is Brownsville, so dudes' garment gains be up. You know, one time, I remember I was getting on the 60 bus right there on Rockaway and Hegeman, and as I was getting on the bus, another kid that was my age came walking up to the bus with tears in his eyes, crying, talking about, nah, fuck that. Niggas took my low goose, I'm robbing somebody. Now, son had to be 12, 13 years old, you feel me? And I was on the bus and I looked down and I see he had a little 2.5 in his hand. You heard? Son had the hammer in his hand. And son was trying to run down on kids at the bus stop, and he was looking for somebody who had on a fly-ass jacket so he could book them for the jacket, because somebody just either stole his jacket or booked him for his jacket. Because, you know, if you left your jacket on the bleachers or some shit in the gym, that shit might disappear. But also, like I said, it was robbery teams that used to come around 275 to rob young niggas for their garments. So boom, I see this little dude, he got the 2.5 in his hand, and he backing that shit out on different kids. Like, yo, word to mother, take that shit off, right? So then this kid named Shannon from the Plazas, that I think once upon a time he went to 275, but at this time he was a high school student. So the kid Shannon, he walks up to the little nigga. The little dude is throwing his hammer in as many people's faces he could throw, but he ain't seeing no low goose or nothing crazy like that that's really worth a major robbery. But he emotional, so he backing that shit out and pointing it at everybody while the bus is pulling off, right? This is 3 o'clock after school. So I see the kid Shannon, he come over there, he like, yo, shorty, what the fuck you doing, shorty? And he literally grabbed the 2.5 out the nigga hand and took the 2.5 from the nigga. Like, yo, what the fuck you doing? So he like, nah, fuck that. Niggas robbed me for my mother. Niggas got me for my motherfucking low goose. Somebody getting got. And the nigga Shannon was like, yo, shorty, chill out. And that was the last thing I heard before the bus pulled off. But the way the kid Shannon went over there and just gradually reached down and took the gun out the nigga hand, I'm like, yo, that was he did that shit too calm. Like, this nigga waving a hammer around in front of mad school kids in front of a junior high school. And this nigga just walks up to the kid, grabs his hand, his wrist, put it down, and took the gun from the nigga. Like, shorty could have started blaming, whatever. So just that scene right there let me know this Brownsville shit is different. You feel me? Like, niggas is 13 out here, ready to really lace something, clap something, rob something, and then other niggas, they don't even give a fuck about a nigga gun out here. That nigga just walked up to shorty and took that shit out of his hand and was like, yo, get out of here, shorty. You heard? But it was crazy, and most likely that kid who had that hammer, most likely he probably had an older brother that told that nigga, man, what? Yo, take this gun and go up there and rob somebody else for your shit, nigga. Take this ratchet, go back up there and rob somebody for another low jacket. We don't take no losses out here. You feel me? Like, think about that for a minute. I was growing up in a type of community where your older brother don't say, yo, man, fuck that. It's a material thing. We could get that back. It ain't worth your life or you going to jail. Nah, this is Brownsville. You ain't nobody taking shit from you. Go up there with my ratchet and go get your shit back. And don't come back to this motherfucking house unless you got a new coat. You feel what I'm saying? That's the type of shit. That's the type of Brooklyn mentality we was raised with. And I lived in Gun City. This shit was about fighting, shooting, and robbing and getting fly, even in this junior high school. You feel me? And like I told you, when I was in 7th grade and I was running behind my bro who was selling crack, I told that story. If you ain't see that story, go check it. You heard? But after that, like I said, they almost left me back because I was too busy running behind this dude trying to be a drug dealer that I wasn't doing none of my work in class. So I failed. I was too distracted. I was distracted and I ain't have no real discipline at home that made me be on my schoolwork. You feel me? So the next year, they put me in a class called 8L4, where it was nothing but basically juvenile delinquents. Dudes on the verge of getting kicked out the school or getting left back. Jughead from Marcus Garvey was in my class, rest in peace. Mike from Marcus Garvey was in my class. Motherfucking Brian Pearson from the Plaza. Motherfucking, if I'm not mistaken, Ace from Co-op was in my class. And, you know, a bunch of other dudes. All of these dudes was already street niggas running around with hammers, fighting, doing whatever they was doing, Decepticons, all type of shit. Me, at this point, I was not like that. You feel me? I was just a smart, funny little motherfucker. You feel me? I wasn't yet sold. I wasn't yet out in the streets trying to do shit. Know what I mean? But in that school, I was kind of coming out my shell. You feel me? And it's a kid in the school, I ain't gonna mention no names, but basically, you know, it was a few major bullies in that school, like niggas was scared of. Now that I'm a grown-ass man, I realize that some of these kids that was bullies, they probably was just kids from bad households, bad upbringings, terrible neighborhoods, drug-infested households and things of that nature, and they was in school acting out like a 12 or 13-year-old should when he got all type of dumb shit going on in his life, you heard? So, like I said, now that I'm a grown-ass man, I look at all of this shit differently. But at the time, it was straight bullies in 275 that was running around digging in niggas' pockets, taking their shit, and all of that. So, me and my dudes, you heard? Like, all my niggas was from the Ville. We all came. Two of my mans that was in the school with me, they was from LH. We all came from 298. So we all used to the other side of Brownsville. We not familiar with this side. If we would have went to Marcus, we would have knew a lot more motherfuckers and it wouldn't have been so crazy for us. But being that we went to 275, it was a completely different world on the other side of Brownsville. So we all kind of stuck together, you know, trying not to get jumped and robbed and whatever, shot, whatever. You feel what I'm saying? So, I told this story before, but I'm gonna tell it again because a lot of y'all motherfuckers ain't see it. You feel what I'm saying? But like one time I was in 275, like I said, I wasn't no tough guy at all. I was tough around in my circle, You heard? Amongst my niggas, everybody knew I was the tough one in my circle. You feel me? But I ain't have my wings spread like that yet to be anywhere tough. You heard? So boom. One time, this girl that was in my class, right? Now, at this time, I'm a little fat, dirty nigga. You heard? I used to come to school stinking and all of that. I was 12 and 13, still pissing in the bed, my nigga. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you know, I ain't have no real man. Like a nigga, a young boy, you need a man around you to teach you how to wash your ass and keep yourself clean the way you supposed to. My mom's did what she could, but I got a dick and balls. You feel what I'm saying? So you need a motherfucking man that's telling you, listen, you wash like this, you dress like this. You know, I came from a poor household with a single mother. I ain't had no father around that was really disciplining me and making sure I was on top of everything. You heard? So at this time, I was a little bummy, dirty nigga, come to school stinking. Niggas used to be making fun of me behind my back and all of that. You feel what I'm saying? But not in my face. But not in my face at all. Know what I mean? Because I was the type of little Gemini hot-tempered nigga that'll punch somebody in their face also. You heard? I just wasn't totally caught up into the street life yet. You feel what I'm saying? So boom. My garment game was trash. You heard? I had 2 pair of Levi's, a pair of blue Levi's and a black Levi's, a pair of blue Levi's and a pair of black Levi's. I used to rock them shits every other day to a point where when I got up for school in the morning, them Levi's was standing up like, let's go, nigga. You heard? The bus pass is in the pocket. Let's go. That's how much I wore them shits. But I say all of that to say I wasn't no ladies' man and girls didn't really like me like that. You heard? Matter of fact, for complete clarity, I was more of a dirty nigga in 7th grade. By 8th grade, I was slowly starting to get my shit together. So niggas wasn't really whispering behind my back or calling me stink or dirty at this time because that was last year. By this time, I started, you know, noticing clothes, noticing girls more, and I started being on point more with my hygiene and everything. It was this girl in my class, right? I kind of liked her. She was a dark-skinned chick. You know, I always like dark-skinned chicks, and she, you know, a high yellow, light-skinned nigga always like a dark-skinned chick. So she was a mad dark-skinned chick. I used to like her. You feel what I'm saying? And one day, she had a ring, like one of these old school rings that was out in 88, 89, where it's a gold ring in the shape of a flower. You feel what I'm saying? It was a flower ring with a little fake rhinestone on it and diamonds on it and shit like that. Shit was fly, but them shits was literally like $25 in motherfucking, them shits was literally like $25 on Pickens Avenue. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, let me see that ring. Me, I was open off for any type of jewelry. So I was like, yo, let me see that ring. And she let me see the ring, right? So I put the shit down on my desk. And turned my head for 1 second. And that shit was gone. The ring was gone. You feel what I'm saying? So she like, where my ring at? So I'm like, yo, I don't got it, man. Somebody must have fucking stole that shit. Like, yo, I'm looking around, everybody looking like they ain't see nothing or hear nothing about it. I'm like, yo, I don't have your ring. So the chick start thinking that I'm trying to steal her ring because she don't really know me like that. You heard? So I'm like, yo, I ain't steal your ring. I just wanted to see it. Somebody must have snatched it off my desk. She like, I don't give a fuck. You had it last. I want my ring. So I'm like, yo, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. You feel what I'm saying? So she like, yo, I'm gonna tell my cousin. Watch after school. So just so happened, her cousin is one of the roughest, toughest bully niggas in the school that was one of the main niggas we was ducking and hiding from because that nigga was brolic for his age. And that nigga was the gooch. You heard? That nigga was going in niggas' pockets, taking niggas' buzz pass money, punching niggas in their face. Like literally the kid that I'm talking about, like I said, I ain't mentioning names because we was kids. But the kid that I'm talking about, I seen this nigga punch an old lady in the face one day. Like literally just to make dudes laugh. Like, you heard? Like we was on the 60 bus. It was quiet. Nobody wasn't doing nothing. It was a lady. She wasn't that old. She probably was like, you know, at the time, we 12 and 13, this lady probably was like 50. You heard? And this kid that I'm talking about, for no reason, he just punched on her face. Boom! And the lady was so scared, she just grabbed her face and put her head down and ain't say nothing. And even at 12 or 13 years old, I was like, yo, this nigga is out of control and somebody needs to do something to this nigga for real. At this time, I was too scared. I'm gonna keep it a whole buck. You feel what I'm saying? Cause the nigga was a beast. He was straight knocking niggas out, my nigga. You feel me? Little 12, 13-year-old nigga that was knocking niggas out, period, cold. You feel me? So I'm like, yo. And he had 100 niggas that he fucked with in the school. You feel me? So if you got it on with that nigga or had beef with that nigga, in the back of your mind, you was thinking about them other 100 niggas too. You feel me? So she telling this nigga, yo, she telling me, yo, after school, I'm gonna tell my cousin, and my cousin gonna fuck you up. After school came, my shit was like a ninja. Yeah, so when school let out, I had to switch phones from my Galaxy phone to my iPhone. So if the quality changed or the look changed a little bit, bear with me. When school was over that day, my shit was like a ninja. You heard? My shit was coming down the hallway like this. Boom, boom, trying to avoid this nigga so he don't fuck me up. You heard? My shit like this. My shit in the garbage can like this. My shit hiding in the garbage can like. So boom, in 275, it was 2 bus stops for the school. One that stopped in the back of the school and one that stopped directly in the front, like right on Hegeman. So my shit was on the back stop, hoping I could just catch the bus, slide on the bus, don't get noticed, and get back to my side of Brownsville. You feel what I'm saying? Without seeing this nigga, and maybe that ring will show up by tomorrow by a miracle, and all of this shit will be over. Because I'm telling you, nobody wanted beef with this dude. You heard? So boom. Like I said, nigga, my shit is spy versus spy. I'm like this. My shit on the motherfucking bus. My shit on the bus, I'm trying to be low, but the bus was too crowded to be low. So everybody on that shit packed jam. I was trying to miss the main crowd, but I caught the main crowd and everybody got on the bus. And I'm standing there with my mans and shit. Them niggas my mans, my nigga, but I was on my own with this one, you heard? So boom, I'm on the motherfucking bus. I just see this broad who I lost her ring. She gets on the bus with all her friends. She like, yeah, nigga, my cousin about to get on the bus. He gonna fuck you up. So I'm like, yo, I'm telling you, I don't got your ring. I don't have your ring. I didn't steal your ring. Somebody else stole that shit. She like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Tell it to my cousin, nigga. So I'm on the bus with my niggas. I just see this nigga about to board the bus. Soon as he get on the bus, he like this. Yo, where the fuck is this nigga that lost my cousin ring? Where this nigga at? Where this nigga at? Where he at? Bro, I'm standing there, I'm like, it's a wrap now. I'm not no nigga that ain't never have a fight or nothing like this, but this was the school bully. So he had a lot of niggas shook, my nigga. You feel me? My shit like, this nigga coming towards me. So she like, there he go right there, the light-skinned one. So that nigga just walking towards me like, oh word? Yo, where my cousin ring at? Where my cousin ring at? So me being a logical type of person, I knew it wasn't no talking. It wasn't gonna be, I'm not gonna sit there looking mad pussy, trying to talk to the nigga and all of that. I know this nigga hit hard because I done seen him in action before. So it ain't nothing to talk about. So when that nigga walked up to me and was like, hey yo, where my cousin ring at, nigga? The first thing I just did, I just got this shit over with. I just stole off on the nigga. Boop! You heard? Snuffed him. Boom! And when I snuffed him, for a split second, I seen the look in his eye, and that shit said, oh shit, this nigga really snuffed me. You heard? And also in that look of the eye, I seen that he wasn't expecting that, wasn't prepared for that, and didn't really want to fight like that. But I was scared. So out of fear, I just stole off. Boop! The nigga grabbed up on me. We both fell to the floor on the bus. Boom! Niggas in the bus going crazy. We on the floor rolling around all crazy. Niggas is like, yo, oh shit, yo, them niggas getting it on. We was just on that floor scrapping out. Bing, bang, bing, 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 bing. Wrestling, trying to slam each other or whatever the fuck we was doing. Son ain't really want to fight like that because of that steal off. You heard? So we tussled for a minute. And then he got up off me and just kept walking down the bus on some crazy hard shit with a bop, and just walked up to another kid and snuffed him. Boom! And start fucking the other kid up. Of course, that was just Son's way of, getting people's attention off the fact that he just got stole off on. He was embarrassed about that. So he just snuffed the next nigga. Boom! Niggas like, oh shit! And everybody forgot about our little fight. But my mans in them, they was like this. Yo, son. You just stole off on the bully of the whole school, my nigga. You heard? Like, that was big business. My adrenaline is pumping mad crazy. You feel me? I'm still scared. Even though I won that fight, I stole off of that nigga. We slammed on the floor. Son just ain't want it. I was trying to get it in. He ain't want it. You feel me? Not that Son was soft or something like that. He just got caught. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until they get punched in their face. You feel what I'm saying? So, not that Son was soft or anything like that, because Son was a straight goon. And even after that, I was coming out the motherfucking school like this, trying not to see that nigga. You feel what I'm saying? But my mans and everybody, including that fucking broad who I lost her ring, I had to give her the look like, yeah, bitch. Yeah. You feel me? Fuck out of here, nigga. I popped. So that day right there, I learned something about myself, that I wasn't as pussy as I thought I was. You feel what I'm saying? I did have some courage. I did have the ability to punch a nigga in their face if I needed to and fight good. You feel what I'm saying? So I was proud of myself. My mans was proud of me. You feel what I'm saying? And, I felt good. But like I said, the next day I was ducking still, because who's to know if Son would have came back with 12 niggas. But I used to see Son after that, and he just don't say nothing to me, and I don't say nothing to him. And then eventually, we start saying what's up to each other. Yo, what up? What's good? What up? What up? You know how this shit go. You feel what I'm saying? So, these was valuable lessons I was learning in Brownsville. I learned that shit at a young age, that, you got to stand up for your motherfucking self in this community, or your ass is grass. You feel me? So it was a savage place. But that 60 bus was hectic, my nigga. It was hectic from, like, I remember one time I was on that shit, my nigga, and dudes had punched another lady in their face, right? I think that this was a total separate occasion. Dudes had punched another lady in their face or something, right, on the bus. So this older nigga that was on the bus, who probably was like well into his 30s, nigga just was like, yo, man, what the fuck is up with y'all little niggas, man? Y'all niggas wildin', man. Fuck one of y'all little niggas up in here, man. Fuck, leave that fucking old lady alone, nigga. Fuck is wrong with y'all niggas, man? Y'all niggas don't got no home training. Real talk, my nigga. This was the first time I seen 12 and 13-year-olds, maybe a little couple of 14-year-olds, jump a grown-ass man and beat that nigga damn near to death, my nigga. As the bus was, because them niggas got off the bus. Like, they stole off on the nigga, boom, boom, boom. They stole off on son on the bus, boom, and them niggas started getting it on, and then them niggas got off the bus right there in front of Newport Gardens. And them niggas was just scrapping crazy. They was smashing this nigga out, stomping this nigga out. And as the bus was pulling off, I'm like, damn, that nigga was a grown adult. There's no help for us in this fucking school. Like, when the nigga says, yo, what's up, yo, y'all little niggas, man? I'm smack the shit out of one of y'all little niggas, man. What the fuck is up, man? I was like, yeah, in my head, I was like, yeah, nigga, an adult. I was like, yeah, nigga, an adult, an older nigga. Gonna put these young niggas in their motherfucking place. Because I was on the bus nervous that they was going to try to set it off on me. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, nigga, grown-ass nigga, this what we needed. Man, them niggas beat the shit out that nigga. You heard? I was like, it ain't no hope for us, my nigga. Like, older niggas can't do nothing. Nobody can do nothing. The school is just out of control. The bus is out of control. The 60 bus is out of control, my nigga. You feel me? Motherfuckers getting their earrings snatched, they chains snatched. Like, it was hectic on that bus. But check it, right? Of a story that I remember was like, listen, we had beef with Amboy. Like, my projects, like, everybody had beef with Amboy. Nobody liked 10 Amboy. You feel me? Like, 10 Amboy was the black sheep of the Ville. A lot of real legends and gangsters came out of that hood. You feel me? Marcus Garvey Projects, N10 Amboy, 1400, whatever. A lot of real niggas came out of there, but they was a very disliked projects in Brownsville. Nobody liked them because they was the grimiest of the grimy. You know how they say Brownsville niggas is grimy? We call Amboy niggas grimy. You heard? Brownsville niggas call Amboy niggas grimy. So that should tell you how grimy these niggas used to be. So it was always a problem with them dudes. Like, you know, we had game rooms. They had game rooms. They had a spot called King's Pizza. And then they had this other little game room that was like a store with a little hallway. And they had like 3 games on the side of the hallway. You heard they had Ghosts and Goblins and that shit. Like, you know, it was always a problem. Anytime I went to Amboy, like to try to play one of their video games in King's Pizza or some shit like that, you feel me? Niggas like Dupree would just pop up out of nowhere trying to rob a nigga. Like, Dupree would just come out of nowhere. Yo, son, like, this nigga was crazy. Like, you see me in the Ville all day, every day. And when you around his, and he won't do that when he not around his way. But when he around his way, nigga just get on some whole other shit. So I used to see this nigga Dupree. Like, I'd be in the motherfucking game room playing a Ghost and Goblins or Outrun or something. And son would just pop up in there. Yo, son, let me get a quarter. I'd be like, yo, I ain't got a quarter. I had a quarter, but I know nigga was trying to squeeze me out of one. I'm like, nah, I ain't got one. He like, yo, I can't get a quarter? I'm like, yo, bro, I don't got no quarter. He like, I bet. I'm playing the game. Bro, this nigga will go back into his project, slide off. This nigga's scurv level was different. You feel me? Son will just slide off, and I'll be playing the game. I'll be like, man, listen, man. I ain't giving niggas no quarters. You feel what I'm saying? Bro, that nigga just pop up with the whole Amboy, my nigga. Like this, I look out the game room. It's 30 niggas out there like this. Yo, who that? He from Howard? That nigga from Howard? Niggas will try, he'll send some other nigga to come in there. Yo, son, you got 50 cents? I'll be like, yo, I don't got nothing. Niggas will try to go in my pocket while I'm on the game, and then them niggas will try to jump me, and I have to motherfucking run, make my escape, and run all the way back to Howard, right? So this started to become all the time thing with me and my mans and Dupree and them. Like my man Israel, my man Alfred, like Dupree and these niggas used to be getting loose. Now, he never would get loose with my nigga Duke. Because Duke, he was a young nigga that had no problem fighting and punching a nigga in the face. You feel what I'm saying? So, and you know, my son just look intimidating. The nigga Duke, if you don't know him and you see him, you will be type scared. You feel me? So, Dupree ain't really play games like this with the nigga Duke. But if he caught me without Duke, he was fronting. So, every time, now me, I'm stupid. I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to the pet shop by Amboy. I'm still going to the fucking pizza shop. I'm not letting niggas keep me from off of that end of Pickett Avenue. I'm down there. But every time and then especially with the video games, I needed them in my life. So anytime I was down there, them niggas was fronting and I would have to make a run back to Howard, right? They had all of the good games on their side. So then a game room opened up on Osborne, you heard, right across the street from 115. A candy shop and a game room. And it was the best game room in Brownsville. We had another game room right there in front of, on the side of 61 across the street from the store. That was a great game room, but you know, that was back in the days. And now this game room, and then we had another game room that was by the parking lot behind 1548 right there on Rockaway. You feel what I'm saying? We had that game room too, which is a number hole. We little niggas in a number hole playing games all day. But this particular game room, the candy shop that opened across the street from Osborne, this shit was exclusive, nigga. Penny candies, any candy you could think about, with about 8-9 games. So this shit was exclusive, and it was a Howard game room. So one day I go up in the motherfucking Penny candy store, and who do I see in there playing the game? This nigga Dupree from Amboy. So I'm like, hold up. I know this nigga is not in my project's game room. Dupree was this type of nigga, bro. He wasn't no stupid nigga. That brother was not dumb. So he sees me. He like, yo, son, what up, son? What up, son? I'm like, huh? He like, yo, I ain't seen you in mad long. What up, son? Nigga gave me a pound. Yo, what's good? I see y'all niggas got the new game room, this and that. In my head, I'm like, this nigga trying to game me, my nigga. So you know what I did? I pulled the same shit that he pulled. Soon as he turned his back, I slid off. Ran back to Howard, came back with the squad. I think when I came back that day, he knew what time it was and his ass was gone. You heard? So we ain't had no problems, but I went and slid off. Now, you would think after he seen me and was like, yo, what up, son? I ain't seen you in man long. Nah, I get caught over there in that game room again. A couple of weeks after that, he pop up in there. Yo, son, what up, son? I'm like, what up? You just saw me the other day talking about, yo, I ain't seen you in a long time. He like, yo, nigga acting like he don't know me. This is what these Amboy niggas was doing. That nigga like this, nah, what's up? He like, yo, let me get 50 cent. I'm like, yo, I ain't got 50 cent, nigga. He like, oh, word? Alright. Nigga slid off, came back with the whole projects again. The moral to all of that shit was, we ain't like Amboy, and Amboy ain't like us. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm talking about the niggas from my age group. One day we on the 60 bus, right? And the 60 bus, niggas remember this in Brownsville. This was like 89. The 60 bus started doing a reroute where that shit was stopping on Pickin and Rockaway and then turning down Pickin. It used to didn't do that. It would go straight down, but they was doing some construction or some shit like that. And now the 60 bus would stop at Pickin, make a left, go down to where, how you doing? All right. Go down to where motherfucking Crossroads is at right now, before Crossroads was there, and then it would make another right and go down. So now the 60 bus was going into Amboy territory. It wasn't like that before. It would just go straight down Rockaway Avenue. That was our bus. Now this shit is going down Pickin. So, you know, every day now that this shit was doing this reroute, every day we had to be super on point for Amboy niggas, because they be on Pickin Avenue waiting for niggas to get off the bus. Because niggas that lived in Langston Hughes and all of that shit, I forgot what the fucking bus was doing, but for some reason, niggas from, it would skip some stops. It would skip, I forgot what it was, but it was skipping Sutter or some shit like that. And people that had to go to Langston Hughes and shit, they had to get off at Pickin and catch the 60 bus or another bus going back in the other direction. It was some weird shit that was going on, but it was putting us in the line of fire with Amboy. I had grown tired with these Amboy niggas at this time, and I was starting to rile up my niggas like, yo, real talk, we not running from them niggas, we not doing none of that. You heard? If we run across them niggas and they want to fight, we fighting. I told you. Shout out to the bro CL Smooth. If you never saw that interview I did with CL Smooth, it's one of the most legendary interviews on my channel. Make sure you go check that out. You heard? But like, yeah. So like I said, I had grown tired of these Amboy niggas, and I was kind of riling up my niggas, telling them, yo, listen, bro, we run into Amboy niggas when we get off on Pickin. Listen, we not running, we not ducking, we not hiding, we riding. You heard? We fighting. I'm not running from them niggas no more. It's too many of us. Fuck them niggas. You feel what I'm saying? So my mans that I was fucking with at the time, they wasn't that type. They wasn't those type of motherfuckers. These are smart, gifted kids, my nigga. We in 275. These were smart, gifted kids from Brownsville. that could have really been anything if they was given the opportunity. You feel what I'm saying? But they shouldn't even have to be worried about shit like this, fighting and shooting and shit like that while going to junior high school. This was dysfunction. So boom. So this one day I tell niggas, I say, yo, listen, we not running from no Amboy niggas, none of that, bro. If them niggas gotta jump us, they gotta jump us. If we gotta fight, we gotta fight. It is what it is. I'm not giving them niggas the satisfaction of running from them niggas. Fuck them niggas. You feel me? So boom. So one day, like other incidents done happen with these niggas and it ain't really crack off. But one day, the 60 bus stops on Pickens Avenue. I stayed on the bus. One of my sons from LH got off the bus. I don't want to mention, I ain't mentioning niggas' names. You feel me? But one of my other sons from LH got off the bus. And as the bus is pulling away, no, correction, two of my sons from LH got off the bus, right? And the bus that they needed to catch was there and getting ready to take off. So they was running and rushing off the bus to try to catch the other bus. And as they get off the bus, 1,000 Amboy niggas come walking up to the bus stop. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, word of mother, I need a new book bag. Yo, I need a starter jacket. Niggas was out there looking for problems, you feel me? So, both of my mans is trying to catch this bus that's about to take off. One of my mans crossed the street before the Amboy mob came, right? And one of my niggas got caught by the Amboy mob. And I'm on the bus and the bus is pulling off and I'm watching this shit. I'm like, oh shit, these niggas about to try to jump my son. So the bus is mad crowded, mad noisy. I'm trying to get off the bus. Yo, stop the bus, stop the bus. The nigga ain't trying to stop the bus for me. The nigga kept it moving. But as I was leaving off, I see the Amboy niggas digging my man pocket and who knows what they was gonna do to him after that. So I looked across the street at my other man from LH, and I seen that he peeped that them niggas ran up on son, but that nigga still got on the bus. You feel me? So I saw that shit, I said, this nigga, I know this nigga ain't just leave my son when he seen clear as day that is 100 of these niggas about to jump him. You know, in defense of son now, it was 100 of them niggas. Niggas was known for having guns and all of that. So, you feel me? Take that into consideration when you think about his decision to bounce. So I seen son look and still get on the bus, and they jump son and they rob son or whatever they did to son. So I'm so heated. Soon as the bus stopped the bus used to stop, go around and stop right in front of the light store factory where they sold all the lamps. So soon as the bus stopped there, I didn't go home. I just walked straight to Langston Hughes. You feel me? I'm like, I gotta go see what happened to my son, if he all right or whatever. So I go straight to Langston Hughes, go to motherfucking 335, and listen, I was furious because I knew my man had left my other man, so I was tight. I went straight up to that nigga crib, knocked on his door, and me and son had to get it on. Me and son had to scrap out, bing, bang, bing, bing, bing. You feel what I'm saying? Over that. And I told that nigga, I'm like, the fuck you left that? He like, yo, I ain't said it, nigga. You did see that nigga, my nigga. You heard? I'm tired of running from these fucking niggas, my nigga. You feel me? What the fuck we gonna do? We gonna be pussy forever, nigga? Like, fuck that, nigga. It's 3-4 of us after school every day. Fuck these niggas. After me and my man, you know, had that altercation, son never really fucked with me like that no more. You feel me? And I regret that shit to this day. We had another altercation back in the days. Me and son used to cross signals a lot, but I still got crazy love for the bro. That's my nigga. I love him. He's a good motherfucker. We was just kids growing up in a fucked up neighborhood where niggas like him was too smart to have to go through shit like this. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I was tight. So, you know, after that, you know, I got out of 275 eventually. I'm sure there's some other stories about 275 that's not coming to my head right now, but I eventually got out of 275 and it was time to go to high school. But in between that time, you know, during the summer and shit, I used to always see the nigga Dupree. Like, we was at the age now where it's like everybody's carrying guns now. I'm skipping further down the line. But, you know, Dupree ended up getting killed later on in life. And, you know, I don't know the full details of it, but I know he was shot a whole bunch of times. You feel me? A whole lot of times. And I remember, you know, when I heard about that shit, you know, I was sad because even though me and Dupree ain't really like each other, we was just fucking kids. And I'm sure Dupree grew up in a terrible household, I know he grew up in a terrible neighborhood, and he experienced all type of shit, seen and did all type of shit that a child shouldn't have to be seeing and doing. You feel what I'm saying? So when I heard that he was shot so many times and murdered in Brownsville, you feel me? It was kind of sad, man. It was kind of sad because at the end of the day, son was a fucking kid. So, but Brownsville had niggas out of their minds. You heard? And he was one of them niggas. Later on, that's stories that's coming later on. I'll get back to that. I'll get back to the future Dupree stories. But after junior high school, you know, it was time for me to go to high school. And, you know, I didn't have such great grades, so I ain't have too many options. I ended up going to graphics, which used to be called printing. You heard? When I started going, they had changed the name to graphics. And what I didn't know was that this school was out of fucking control. I told these stories about the Decepticons, and I'll touch on that in this a little bit. But if you want to see the stories I told about the Decepticons, you heard, type in St. Laz Cybertron, and it'll come up with about 3-4 episodes about that Decept shit. You heard? But yeah, man, I'm gonna pick this on up where I left off. This is LAZ. This is Kids with Guns. This is my life story. You heard? I hope y'all enjoy it. Make sure y'all hit that like button, leave some comments, share this to Facebook or wherever. Help me get this algorithm smoked up. You heard? Z-Man Suicide Polo with the Ski Man, man. Get at me.